exercise modifications for the Autumn Calabrese Prenatal series available on Beachbody on demand. First of all, let me just say that I think Autumn Calabrese is one of the world's top trainers and that the systems that she comes out with are brilliant. And in fact, the 21-day fix combined with the flat belly system is by far the #1 system and combination of systems that I use with my clients. And it is the #1 of results that my clients are getting. So it's really my top programming. And as you know, as you're going through the 21-day fix, if you do have diastasis recti and you are working through the flat belly system, then you have modifications in addition to the modifications that are on the program, because the program is not set up specifically for that injury. Now, let's talk about the prenatal series. I love the prenatal series. I think it's really important to keep moving while you're pregnant, and I love that Autumn Calabrese is very careful in her guidance of women that are pregnant. There are a couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. If this is not your first pregnancy, there is a 65% chance that you already have some space in between your rectus abdominis. If this is your first pregnancy, there is a slight chance that there is some space in your rectus abdominis and a 65% chance that there will be space by the end of your pregnancy. So I like to err on the side of caution when I'm working with pregnant clients because we want to minimize the chances of either developing diastasis recti or worsening a case that happened in a previous pregnancy. So where she might be working from point and ground zero from clients on the prenatal series, I am taking it from the standpoint of injury prevention and injury cure. Almost every exercise is very appropriate in the prenatal series. I encourage you to try it if you are pregnant. I also encourage you to take it at your own pace, depending on your fitness level and how your pregnancy is making you feel. Every pregnancy and every person and every body is different. However, this is my big however, I do not think that once you start showing in pregnancy that you should do planks. That is because there is this body that's growing underneath the rectus abdominis, which is pushing the rectus abdominis forward. Now, the old belief was if your core is weak, then it's going to split open. The new reality is that the tighter your core is, the more likely it is to be a serious injury and a possible hernia. So to guard against that, I'm going to recommend to you that every time that Autumn Calabrese asks you to go into a plank position, that you put at least one knee down. Okay? So we're getting down into that plank position, and you know some pregnant women can't even get down here. And that's okay, let's talk about that in a second. So hands are underneath the shoulders, and knees are underneath the hips. If you need to stay here, then stay here. If you're ready to, then you push the knees back, you tuck the pelvis under, and you have control over your core. If you don't, then don't even go this far. Say you have complete control here and you feel very comfortable and confident that you don't feel like your muscles are spilling out or that your guts are spilling out, then you can go to one and then switch. So she has several exercises from plank position. I'm going to recommend that you go here or here and then switch halfway in between. There's also several circumstances where she has you go into a side plank. I'm going to recommend also in the side plank that one knee stays down. So for instance, you've got your elbow underneath your shoulder and your knee long ways right here. Now, if you really need a lot of support, tuck it all the way up here. There's nothing wrong with that. That gives you a lot of support right here. If you feel like you can then you can move that knee down, but you have to have some kind of support here so that this doesn't spill out and forward and hurt yourself. She has several exercises that she does from the side position, and so what you can do is you can just drop and lift that hip and pay attention to the lowest part of your abdominals. That's what you need to have strong to hold that rectus abdominis, is these lowest muscles holding you up and in. When she goes into twists, what you can do is you can lift and you can tuck this toe down and you can push your hips up as you tuck under. So I'm not twisting from my center, but more or less tucking the whole body under, which is a great core strengthener without adding so much twist that it sort of twists the rectus abdominis apart. I don't want you to feel like the halves are coming apart and sliding against each other. It's a terrible feeling, and I remember what that feels like. There's a couple of spots in the video where she's doing leg exercises. So just be really careful when you're doing leg exercises that you don't push the tummy out. The more you push your tummy out during pregnancy, the more it's going to open up. So that's why I always have my pregnant clients be very aware of standing in a straight line, head over shoulder, over hip, over ankle, because this happens during pregnancy. Very hard on the lower back, very hard on your core, so pull this up. And then when you go into any kind of leg exercise, just make sure that you're holding the tummy muscles in and up so that you're not spilling your guts like that onto your legs. Do you see the difference? So here is in control, and here is too far forward. So be careful about that. Finally, she does have a couple of exercises that go over the shoulder. So if you have a light weight and you're doing the squats and you're lifting, I want you to stop here. Going all the way up tends to splay the ribs forward and the tummy forward. And for right now, keep that tucked in and the hands just to shoulders. You're definitely going to be able to strengthen the shoulders that way. So keep that in mind. I hope that helped you with your prenatal series. Again, I'm a big fan. Autumn Calabrese has amazing systems. She helps a lot of people. To err on the side of caution, if you are concerned about diastasis recti, either as a first-timer or a multiple pregnancy, or you've had diastasis recti before, just keep the rules in mind and keep your fitness in mind. Take care. Addendum, I told you that I would do something in case you can't get down on all fours. Some pregnant women are just really uncomfortable doing that, and then there's also the congestion that happens, and it just might be uncomfortable to put the head down. So from a seated position, if you cannot get to plank, then I have a band here with me. If you don't have a band, that's okay. Let's just start without the band and I'll show you. So the shoulders down, back, and behind you and tucked, the rib cage tucked down, the bottom area of the muscles here near the pelvic floor pulled up and in, and you're sitting on your sits bones. Take the elbows in line with the shoulder and take them in front of you and cross twice and pull back, and cross twice and pull back. Now this is doing a lot actually. It is upper body, it is shoulder, and if you keep the arms really, really strong, you're feeling it all over the upper body. It's also challenging you to keep your body upright. Let me show you from the side. So if you're sitting upright and everything is pulled in and tucked in here, and you're doing this, is your head staying over the rest of you? How about your ribs? How about the core? What's it doing? Okay, so if this is happening, I want you to pull it back. It's difficult to hold everything in, and it's perfectly safe to do this. So give that a try. Now, if you want to add a little bit of resistance, then take a band. This is a Pilates band with added handles underneath and right along the bra line. I'm going to tuck mine up a little bit, but you can use the handles if you have one with handles. It's pretty cool. Okay, so the shoulders are tucked back down and behind you, elbows in line with the shoulders, and you're just doing a simple press here. But again, when you're doing this, make sure that your alignment is not changing. So press while holding the tummy muscles up and in and head nice and tall. Because the tendency is going to be that. Don't do that. Keep everything in line. And if you are working with a tough band here, you're going to feel it all over your upper body, your shoulders, your back, your chest. Everything is working here without having to get down into a plank position. I hope the addendum helped you today. Give that a try and let me know what you think.